Hello, Matos. Um, Today I want to speak with you about the food bank activity that it was a few weeks ago. And I want to ask you, what was your successes during this activity?
It was much easier than I thought, since all we had to do was hand out leaflets, put the food that people gave us in a shopping cart and just write it down.
Okay. What new things you have learned during this activity?
That a smile can go a long way.
Oh, that's so nice. Maybe you want anything else to add, to note about this activity? What improvements maybe you can suggest for yourself or others?
I should learn how to speak more loudly to get people's attention.
Okay, thank you. Today we are speaking about the food bank activity, and I want to ask you what new things you have learned during this activity.
That you should be friendlier to people no matter how they treat you.
Okay. So what was your successes?
Yeah, it was quite easy since all we had to do was hand out calendars and thank people for the food.
Okay, thank you. Hello, Dominic. How are you?
I'm okay.
Oh, good. Today I want to speak with you about the food bank activities, and I want to ask you, maybe you have any failures during this activity?
Well, I don't think that it is a failure because it wasn't my fault, but many people who were walking through us, they would say something silently, something bad, but we haven't got any fights with them, so it's okay.
Okay, thank you. What new things you have learned?
Maybe to be more polite to everyone, no matter what case it is. And I think that I got better with food itself. I know what food is and what packaging.
So you believe that this activity was successful for you and for all the class?
I think so, because it's already the fourth time I'm in food bank, and every time I come there, the more I manage to get from people. And I think that for the food bank people who are getting it, it's a very good thing because more food comes to them. And I think that for me it's a bit like a stone rolling down from my heart, because I think a lot about those people and who can't eat, for example. So yeah.
Thank you very much. Hello, David. How are you?
Nice. Fine.
Okay. Today I want to speak with you about food bank activities which were happened a few weeks ago. I want to ask you about your successes during this activity.
I think one of the biggest success that I was actually smiling a lot, and I actually liked the activity. I thought very specifically about this activity that it would be just a very random activity with no actual purpose, and I very liked to see how people responded to me giving them leaflets and responding to the whole food bank action.
Okay. What do you reckon, what new things you have learned?
I learned that people actually are concerned about this. Of course, not all, but that people that can't really donate, they're still concerned about it and they know about it. Actually, a lot of people know about food banks, and a lot of people had donated before in food banks.
Okay, thank you. And what about failures? Maybe you have any?
Well, it's not my failure, but it's a sort of failure of people, that some people are actually very negative and they don't understand what's the purpose about food bank, and they say very negative and not nice things about people who don't have enough money to get food they need and products they need.
Thank you very much, Davila. Hello, Barbara.
Hi.
Last week we had a food bank activity. We gathered charity food supplies for those families and for those people who need it. I want to ask you, what was your successes during this activity?
My successes. Well, I really like to communicate with people. Like some of the people actually asked what the food bank was about and what were the money for. So I gladly explained it to them. And I also like to communicate with the classmates that I worked with. It was very easy to communicate with them because we were already friends and everything. So that would be my successes.
Okay, thank you. What about the failures? Maybe you have some? No?
It was very hard to attract people
Mhm.
because usually all of them are very busy and it was late, so none of the people really wanted to pay attention to us. So yeah, it was really hard to attract people and to at least make them listen to us what we wanted to offer.
I see. What new things you have learned during this activity?
Maybe the attracting people, because I've never been to food bank before, and I always wondered what it was like to volunteer for food bank. So the thing that I learned was to attract people, to actually go to them and say them, and whenever someone passed, to go directly to them, be brave and everything like that. So yeah.
Okay, thank you, Barbara. Hello, Daniel. Last weekend, you attended at the food bank activity, and I want to ask you, what was your successes during this activity?
I think my biggest success was to overcome myself because it was the first time I participated in food bank, and to go and to be brave and ask people for food and to give leaflets to them.
Okay. What new things you have learned during this activity?
Since it was the first time I participated at food bank, I learned how to organize things and how to
Okay, thank you. Maybe you want to add anything else, your feelings or any notes about this activity?
It was interesting experience for me since I experienced a lot of different points of view from different people, and it was interesting experience for me.
Okay, thank you. Hello, Mandas. Last weekend, you were at the food bank activities, and now we're doing CAS reflection, and I want to ask you about your successes during this activity.
I think my personal successes was that I managed to hand out the flyers to quite a lot of people, I think, and I was happy that a lot of people took it, and I saw that there was a lot of food that was donated, so I think that was a big success.
Maybe you have some failures.
The failures, well, mostly was that people basically sometimes ignored us when we were trying to hand out the flyers, and I think that kind of, for someone who's doing that kind of thing, it demoralizes them because being ignored is not very nice, and it basically kind of makes you feel bad.
Okay. Maybe you want to share some feelings of your own, or maybe some notes.
I was really
regarding this
happy.
activity?
I was really happy to see that even people who didn't speak, even though I introduced everything in Lithuanian, there were some people, for example, who were speaking Russian or English that still took the flyers, and I was really happy when I saw that.
No, thank you. Hello, Adonis.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Doing good? Last weekend, you were at the food bank activity. Let's talk about your successes during this event.
So when we were at the activity, we handed out a lot of flyers, and actually I was surprised that a lot of people donated the food to the food bank. Even some people who looked like poor-ish, even they donated food.
What new things you have learned from this activity?
To communicate with strangers and to be more open-minded to all kinds of people.
Maybe you have some failures?
Not really, just some people ignored us, but other than that, everything was okay.
Thank you very much.